Let us continue biomolecules. In biomolecules, we will take a functional group ketone. In that carbohydrates, we will take in carbohydrates functional group. We will take aldehyde. We will take now number of carbons. We will go on rise from 3 to 6 carbons. How these will be there? That we will see. So we are taking carbohydrates. In carbohydrates functional group, aldehyde we will take. In the aldehydes, we will see from 3 carbons to 6 carbons. We will see 3 carbons to 6 carbons. We will see. So first one we will take. First here CHO, here H, here carbon, chiral carbon, here OH, here CH2OH. This name is called what means glyceraldehyde. This name is glyceraldehyde. Next we will take next we will invert this chiral carbon HOH. We will invert it. Chiral carbon HOH we will invert it. So chiral carbon HOH we are inverting. So we got this is also what means glyceraldehyde. This is also glyceraldehyde. In this glyceraldehyde, the chiral carbon OH group is on right side. Therefore, it is coming under capital D configuration. In this glyceraldehyde, the chiral carbon OH group is on left side. Therefore, it is called L-glyceraldehyde. It is called DL nomenclature. It is called DL nomenclature. So, from D-glyceraldehyde, let us get from this D-glyceraldehyde, we will introduce one chiral carbon. We will get two more substances. Now, we will get four carbons. 4 carbons we will get. All dot tetros we will get. So this CH2OH we will write as it is. This HOH, chiral carbon HOH also we will write it. This aldehyde also we have written as it is. In that we have not changed anything. Here also glyceraldehyde CH2OH. This is chiral carbon HOH. This aldehyde. So we have written D-glyceraldehyde only we have written. Now in this D-glyceraldehyde, let us introduce one chiral carbon. Let us introduce. So we are introducing one chiral carbon. That is the chiral carbon is having HOH like this. In this case, we will invert and introduce. So we got like this. Okay. So we got like this. Now what is this one in the sense? This is called erythros. This is called what means erythros. This is called what means trios. This is called what means trios. Okay, this is called trios. It is called erythros. In this erythros, it is CH2OH. Next to this chiral carbon, this chiral carbon is having OH group is on right side. Therefore, it is a D configuration. In this trios, this is CH2OH. Next to this is chiral carbon. In chiral carbon, OH group is on right side. Therefore, it is called D configuration. So D erythros and D trios we got. Next, from this we will see. This L-glyceraldehyde we will take. So here at bottom CH2OH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Next here aldehyde group CHO. Another time we will take. Here at bottom CH2OH is there. Chiral carbon is having OH and H, and aldehyde CHO is there. Now let us introduce one chiral carbon. We will introduce here and here. Sir, in this case, we are introducing chiral carbon in what way? In the sense, OH group here and H here. Here H and OH we will invert. We will invert and keep. Okay. This is called what? This is called what in the sense? This is called erythros. This is called erythros. This is called what in the sense? Trios. This is called trios. Okay. This is called trios. It is called erythros. Sir. So now we'll see here in this case one correction is there. What is that correction in the sense? In this case OH group left side only, no? That left side will write like this. Sorry. Now this we said erythros we said this we said trios we said. Sorry, okay. Now for this CH2H group is there. next to this chiral carbon. In chiral carbon, OH group is on left side, therefore L configuration. Here CH2OH next to this chiral carbon is having OH group on left side, therefore it is L. So that it is called a L-triose. Said okay. So erythrose means both OH groups, the chiral carbons OH groups on one side. See, in this erythrose, these two chiral carbons are having OH group only on right side. In this erythrose, these two chiral carbons are having OH groups only on left side. So if the chiral carbons OH groups are on one side, then erythrose are on opposite side, triose. Now triose is chiral carbon 2 OH groups are on opposite sides. Here triose is chiral carbon 2 OH groups are on opposite side. Therefore triose we can say. So this is a aldehyde functional group. Therefore, and 3 carbons. So aldotrioses these are. In this case, functional group is aldehyde and number of carbons 4. Therefore, aldotetroses we can say. Next we will see aldopentoses we will see. Next we are going for a aldopentoses. Now we will take a D-erythrose. D-erythrose we will take. Now we will write a D-erythrose we will write now first. Okay, D-erythrose we will write. This is a D-erythrose is coming under which case in the sense aldotetrose. Now we will take D-erythrose. Here CH2OH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Next functional group aldehyde. Here we will take here CH2OH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Next chiral carbon HOH and CHO. Okay, we have taken here in both cases functional group is aldehyde, number of carbons 4. So both are aldotetroses, both are called D-erythrose. Now we will introduce one chiral carbon in both cases. Here one chiral carbon, here one chiral carbon. Here HOH like this, we will invert HOH and we will write Now this is containing 5 carbons. It is called a ribose. This is called a arabinose. This is called arabinose. This is a ribose. It is called arabinose. In this ribose, it is CH2OH. This is chiral carbon. In this chiral carbon, OH group is on right side. Therefore, D-ribose. It is CH2OH. Next is chiral carbon. In the chiral carbon, OH group is on right side. Therefore, D-arabinose. So D-ribose we are getting means L-ribose also we will get, isn't it? D-arabinose we are getting in the sense L-arabinose also we will get. So from D-erythrose we have written D-ribose and D-arabinose we have written. Next we will take D-triose we will take. D-triose. This D-triose means here functional group is aldehyde, number of carbons is 4. We will take this one 2 times. So here CH2OH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Next chiral carbon OHH, functional group aldehyde. It is what means D-triose. D-triose. 4 carbons are there. Next again we will write D-triose. Here CH2OH. Here chiral carbon HOH. HOH we have written. Next chiral carbon OHH. Here functional group is what means aldehyde. So both are D-triose. Let us introduce chiral carbon in both cases. Let us introduce chiral carbon in both cases. Here we will write HOH. Here we will write OHH. OHH. Like this we have written. This is called what in the sense xylose. It is called xylose. It is called what means lysose. It is called lysose. It is xylose. It is lysose. Now in this CH2OH next to this chiral carbon, in the chiral carbon OH group is on right side in the sense D configuration. It is a lysose. Here CH2OH, next carbon is chiral carbon right side OH group is there, therefore it is a D configuration. It is a D xylose, it is a D lysose. So in D-triose, if you introduce one chiral carbon, you will get a D xylose and D lysose will get. For this D, L is there, for this D also L is there. Therefore, in these cases, functional group is aldehyde, number of carbons is 5. Therefore, number of carbons is 5. how many isomers in the sense the D isomers 4, L isomers 4, therefore totally 8 isomers possible for this. 8 isomers possible for this, we said. Sir. Next we will go for a from 5 carbons to 6 carbons we will go. From 5 carbons to 6 carbons we will go. Seriya? Now we will take a from this D ribose we will take 2 times. This D ribose we are taking 2 times. Okay. So now we will write this is a CH2OH. So D ribose, this is D ribose we are writing 2 times. Here a CH2OH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Here chiral carbon HOH. Here chiral carbon HOH. Next we will introduce aldehyde group CHO. We will take another time D ribose. We are taking D ribose another time, CH2OH. Here HOH. Here HOH. Here HOH. And here we will write CHO. Okay. So D ribose we have written 2 times. Now we will introduce chiral carbon in both places. Chiral carbon we will introduce in both places. Here one chiral carbon HOH. Here one chiral carbon OHH. Okay. So like this we introduced. Now this is called what means D-allose. It is called D-allose. It is called what means D-aldose. D-aldose. Now here functional group is aldehyde, number of carbon 6. Therefore, how many D isomers we will get, do you think? How many D isomers we will get? And how many L isomers we will get? What do you say regarding this? D isomers, L isomers. D forms totally how much? L forms totally how much? That you say for a functional group aldehyde, number of carbon 6. That you say. Sir. Now we will see. For how many D isomers we will get? That we will see first. Okay. For which first we will that means we are seeing what in the sense aldo exoses. Aldo exoses we are seeing. That means functional group is aldehyde. Exoses, X in the sense 6 carbons. Sir. First we will take 5 carbons. In 5 carbons D ribose I will take. Here chiral carbon HOH. Second here chiral carbon HOH. Next chiral carbon HOH. Here CHO. It is D ribose. We will take D ribose 2 times. Here CH2H. Chiral carbon HOH. Chiral carbon HOH. Here chiral carbon OHH. And functional group is aldehyde. Okay. It is 5 carbons. 5 carbons D ribose we have taken. Sir. Next, so D ribose we have taken. Next we will take D arabinose we will take 2 times. We will take D arabinose 2 times. So here CH2OH, here HOH, next HOH, next OHH, next aldehyde CHO. We are writing D arabinose 2 times CH2OH, here HOH, here HOH, here OHH, here CHO. Okay, D arabinose 5 carbons 2 times we are written. Next D xylose we will take 5 carbons 2 times we will take. Here CH2OH, here HOH, here OHH, here HOH, here CHO. It is D xylose, it is 5 carbons. We will take this D xylose 2 times. CH2OH, here chiral carbon HOH, next chiral carbon OHH, next chiral carbon HOH, then aldehyde is the functional group. Then D lysose we will take 2 times. D lysose 5 carbons, 1 carbon CH2H, next chiral carbon HOH, next chiral carbon OHH, next chiral carbon OHH, next aldehyde. Okay. Now we have taken what in the sense D lysose 5 carbons 2 times we are taking. Here CH2H, here chiral carbon HOH, next chiral carbon OHH, next chiral carbon OHH, then aldehyde. Sir, all are 5 carbons. All are 5 carbons. In all cases, functional group aldehyde. Okay. Now we will go for 6 carbons. We will go. Sir, 6 carbons means in each introduce one chiral carbon. Sir. So here we are introducing chiral carbon HOH. Here we are introducing chiral carbon opposite. Okay. This is called D-allose. D-allose. This is called what means D-altrose. This is called D-altrose. Okay. Next, 2 sets we will take. These 2 are D-arabinose. Here we will introduce chiral carbon. Here chiral carbon HOH. Invert chiral carbon OHH. Okay. This is called D-glucose. D-glucose. This is called D-mannose. This is called D-mannose. Sir. D-mannose. Next, these 2 are xylose. In these 2, we will introduce chiral carbon. We will get 6 carbons. Then it is here chiral carbon HOH we have introduced. Here chiral carbon OHH. This is called D-gullose. This is called D-gullose. It is called D-iodose. D-iodose. Okay. Next, these 2 are lysose. In these 2, we will introduce chiral carbon. Then HOH groups we will introduce HOH. Here OHH. Okay. This is called D-galactose. D-galactose. It is called D-talose. D-talose. Okay. So functional group aldehyde. Exos means 6 carbons. So functional group aldehyde. Exos means 6 carbons. 6 carbons in the sense we will get how many isomers in the sense 8 isomers we will get for D. For D configuration 8 isomers we will get. Similarly, for each D, L is possible. Capital L is possible. Okay. Another thing is there. Small d, small l is there. Capital D, capital L is there. Difference is there. This is called optical isomers, dextro and levorotatory. It is called DL nomenclature. It is not dextro and levorotatory. This is not dextro and levorotatory. It is only dextro and levorotatory. So small d, small l means dextro and levorotatory optical isomers. Capital D, capital L means this is for carbohydrates nomenclature. For carbohydrates nomenclature. So now for aldo excesses 8 D configurations and 8 L configurations, totally 16 configurations we can say. Sorry. Next we will see. Next we are going for epimers. Next we are going for epimers. So epimers means we have to take monosaccharides. We have to take for epimers. We have to take monosaccharides. Monosaccharides in the sense they do not undergo hydrolysis. Sir, in this monosaccharides, at chiral carbon configuration should be different. Configuration is different at chiral carbon. Configuration is different at chiral carbon. Chiral carbon configuration is different. Sir, this should not be anomeric carbon. It should not be anomeric carbon. It should not be anomeric carbon. Then those monosaccharides are called epimers. Sir, first we will see what is anomeric carbon. So anomeric carbon, if you know, then only we can come to know what is epimers. Sir, but understand it. What is epimers means? It is monosaccharides. Configuration at chiral carbon should be different, and that this carbon should not be anomeric carbon. Then these monosaccharides are called what means epimers. Sir, then now we have to understand what is anomeric carbon. We have to understand. To understand anomeric carbon, what is about monosaccharide? What is the structure of monosaccharide? We have to understand it. Then only we can go for a anomeric carbon. Sir, structure of monosaccharide in the sense, let us take glucose. We will take for this anomeric carbon. Sir, we are taking glucose. We will see in glucose which carbon is anomeric carbon. We should know it. For knowing anomeric carbon of glucose, we should know chemical properties of glucose. Then only we can say anomeric carbon. We can say. Sir, so now we will see chemical properties of glucose. We will see. Sir, so Now we are taking a glucose. We are taking for this chemical properties. We will see chemical properties. We will see. Sir, first one, this glucose reduces tolerance reagent. Reduces tolerance reagent. Reduces tolerance reagent means glucose contains aldehyde group. That's all. The glucose reduces tolerance reagent, therefore it is containing aldehyde group, that we can say. Then next, glucose is reducing Fehling solution. Glucose is reducing Fehling solution. Therefore, it says that glucose contains aldehyde functional group. Glucose contains aldehyde functional group, we can say. Sir, next test is glucose is not giving test with bisulfite. Bisulfite addition. Bisulfite addition is not possible by glucose. Is not possible for the glucose. Bisulfite addition is not possible for the glucose. Next one is Schiff's test. Schiff's test is not possible for the glucose. Sir. Now, tolerance test, Fehling test, Schiff's test, bisulfite addition means what we will see. Then we will come to this glucose. We will come. Sir. Now we will take a aldehyde. Aldehyde we will take. To this we will add tolerance reagent. Tolerance reagent means Ag plus will be there. So what happens means this CHO group converts to COO minus, Ag plus converts to Ag. It is called a tolerance test. So in the tolerance test, aldehyde oxidizes to carboxylate anion, Ag plus is converting into Ag. But if you take ketone with a tolerance reagent, no reaction. Why no reaction? But aldehyde reaction is possible. In aldehyde, the functional group contains hydrogen. This hydrogen is reducing hydrogen. Therefore, this aldehyde reduces Ag plus. But in ketone, such a type of reducing hydrogen is not there. Therefore, ketone is unable to reduce tolerance reagent. Sir. Next, we'll take aldehyde. Fehling solution will take. Fehling solution means Cu2 plus. Aldehyde converts to carboxylate anion. Fehling solution converts to Cu plus. So this Cu plus, in the sense you will get precipitate. Cu2O is a precipitate. Sir. Fehling solution test like this is said. Aldehyde is giving Fehling's test. Ketone is not giving. Okay. Next we will see bisulfite addition. We will take aldehyde. We will take bisulfite. Bisulfite will take bisulfite in the sense NaHSO3 is the sodium bisulfite. So here Na plus O minus, then OH, then double bond O. Okay, here lone pair. It is NaHSO3, sodium bisulfite. Here how the addition reaction is possible, that we will see. Aldehyde undergoing addition reaction with the sodium bisulfite. That reaction we will see. So this lone pair is attacking. This bond pair is migrating. This sodium is going to this place. Sodium is going to that place. So we will get a C, here O, here S, double bond O, OH. Here lone pair is there. Then here O minus Na plus. O minus Na plus. Okay, this is H. This H. Next reaction, what? That we will see. Next, what happens in say from here, hydrogen is shifting. This bond is shifting. Next step, what happens means this bond is shifting. This hydrogen goes to this place. Na plus comes to this place. This is the next step. So we will get CH. This is OH. This is O, S double bond O, and O minus Na plus. Okay. Now here you see this double bond. This C double bond O becomes C single bond O. To this oxygen, hydrogen is added. To this carbon, this group is added. Therefore, this reaction is called addition reaction. Sir. Now this lone pair is this O minus is donating lone pair to this carbon. So carbon is accepting. So carbon is electrophile. O minus is nucleophile. So nucleophile is adding. Therefore, it is called a nucleophilic addition. Nucleophile is adding to this carbon. Therefore, it is called a nucleophilic addition. So aldehyde can undergo nucleophilic addition reaction. Sir. Next we will see Schiff's test. Schiff's test also for aldehyde. Aldehyde responds Schiff's test, whereas ketone is not responding Schiff's test. Okay, now we will come for glucose. Glucose structure we will see. What structure we have discussed for D-glucose? D-glucose structure you see. This is aldehyde is a functional group. Second carbon is chiral carbon. Third chiral, fourth chiral, fifth chiral. Sixth is not chiral. It is CH2OH. Sixth carbon. So it is a D-glucose. In D-glucose we have written a aldehyde functional group. We have written D-glucose aldehyde functional group. We have written. So now we will see the glucose is a reducing tolerance reagent. This indicates glucose is having aldehyde. Similarly, Felix. Glucose is not reducing Schiff's test. Glucose is not showing Schiff's test. That means in glucose, aldehyde is not there. Aldehyde group is not there. Glucose is a reducing tolerance reagent. This says that glucose is containing aldehyde. Glucose is not reducing Schiff's test. Therefore, glucose is not having aldehyde. Sir. Bisulfite addition. Glucose is not undergoing bisulfite addition. That means glucose is not having aldehyde group. See, one test says glucose is having aldehyde group. One test says glucose is not having aldehyde group. That means in glucose, this is called open structure. For glucose, some other structure also should be there in which this aldehyde group should not be free. Then only such a type of result is possible. So in glucose, how the structure should be there means in just before we have discussed open structure. In glucose, how the structure should be there means the structure is such that aldehyde group should be present, but sometimes free, sometimes not free. Like that it should be present. Okay. Now see, in glucose, aldehyde is there, no doubt. How this aldehyde group should be there means sometimes free, sometimes not free. Like this should be there. So when it is free, so it says that free aldehyde group. It says that free aldehyde group. It says that not free aldehyde group. Not free aldehyde group. Okay, like this. So that means this test says that glucose contains minimum 2 structures. In one structure, free aldehyde group is there. In another structure, free aldehyde group not there. Like this possible for glucose. Okay, therefore glucose structure is how many means minimum 2 structures should be there. In one structure, free aldehyde group should be there. In another structure, free aldehyde group should not be there. So we got a little idea about structure of glucose. We will see still more. Next we will see glucose chemical properties. We will continue. Now we will take glucose. We will take glucose. To this glucose, what is added means bromine water is added. Bromine water is added. What we are getting in the sense gluconic acid. We are getting gluconic acid. Gluconic acid in the sense here what is there means carboxylic acid is there. Glucose contains aldehyde group we know. Bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. It can supply nascent oxygen. So aldehyde oxidizes to carboxylic acid. Therefore, glucose undergoes oxidation. Aldehyde group is converting into carboxylic acid in the sense glucose contains 3 aldehyde group. Otherwise, how aldehyde will convert into carboxylic acid? So this test says that glucose contains free aldehyde group. Sorry, okay. Next reaction we'll see. Next, this glucose is taken for oxidation with what in the sense with a strong oxidizing agent we'll take. Okay, so we'll take glucose. To this strong oxidizing agent we'll add, that is corn nitric acid we are adding. What we are getting in the result, aldoric acid we are getting. We are getting a aldoric acid, that is a glucoric acid we are getting. Glucoric acid we are getting. This glucoric acid formula is what in the sense CO. This glucoric acid formula is what means carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid. Here 4 times CHOH is there. 4 times CHOH is there. Okay, 4 times CHOH. CHOH 4 times present. So this indicates that in the glucose, the top contains aldehyde group. The bottom contains CH2OH group. In the rest, CHOH 4 times present. So this CH2OH is converting into carboxylic acid. This aldehyde converting into carboxylic acid. So in glucose undergoing oxidation, oxidizing agent is corn nitric acid. In this corn nitric acid, this aldehyde oxidizes, this primary alcohol oxidizes, whereas secondary alcohol is not oxidizing. Sir, like this glucose is there. Sir, okay. Next, this glucose is taken for oxidation. Oxidation with what, in the sense some other oxidizing agents also we can take. With that also it shows, it gives oxidation it shows. Sir, next we will take this for reduction. What is the reducing agent we are taking? In the sense sodium amalgam and water. Sodium amalgam and water will take. So what compound we are getting? In the sense D-glucitol we are getting. D-glucitol. This D-glucitol formula is what means CH2OH and CH2OH. Here center what is there means CHOH 4 times present. That means aldehyde group is converting into CH2OH in this reducing agent. Here reducing agent is sodium amalgam and water. In this reducing agent, glucose aldehyde group is undergoing reduction, therefore we got CH2OH. This indicates that in glucose aldehyde group is free. Next reducing agent will take hydrogen iodide red phosphorus. Hydrogen iodide red phosphorus will take what we are getting, in the sense we are getting a N-hexane. We are getting N-hexane. That means all the carbons undergo reduction in the glucose. This N-hexane is called what means straight chain compound. This indicates that glucose is open chain structure. Glucose is having open chain structure. If open chain structure, that open chain structure means what? N-hexane contains 6 carbons all the 6 carbons attached in a straight line, not branch, no branch at all. That means in glucose also all the 6 carbons attached in a straight chain. Therefore glucose contains open chain structure. This says that glucose contains open chain structure, and in glucose all the 6 carbons attached in a straight chain. In the glucose all the 6 carbons attached in a straight chain. Okay, that's what. Here because N-hexane all the 6 carbons attached in a straight chain, therefore in glucose all the 6 carbons attached in a straight chain, we can say. So this reaction says like this. Next reaction we'll see. Now glucose undergoes a reaction with HCl. Glucose with HCl. Now we'll take glucose with HCl. What is the compound we are getting? In the sense we are getting like this compound. We are getting like this compound. We are getting like this compound. It is called cyanohydrine. It is called cyanohydrine. It is called glucose cyanohydrine, we can say. So what this reaction reveals, that we'll see. We will take aldehyde group. In this cyanide, we will take, in this HCN, we will take cyanide, we will take CN minus, we will take, it is attacking this, it is going like this. So we will get CO minus, and here Cn will take, and here H will take, then H plus is attacking O minus. So we will get O minus becomes OH, and here Cn. Now double bond is converted into single bond. To this carbon Cn is added, to this oxygen hydrogen is added. Therefore this reaction is called addition reaction. Here this C minus is donating lone pair to this carbon. So this is called nucleophile. So this reaction is called nucleophilic addition. So aldehyde undergoes nucleophilic addition with the HCl. So in this glucose also undergoing reaction with HCl to give cyanohydrine. Therefore in glucose what is there means aldehyde group is there like this. Therefore this reaction says that glucose contains free aldehyde group. So glucose contains free aldehyde group. Next reaction with hydroxylamine. Reaction with hydroxylamine, what we are getting, in the sense we are getting like this. We are getting like this. Here CHOH 4 times present. Here CH2H. So what this reaction reveals, that we'll see. We'll take aldehyde. We'll take hydroxylamine. We have taken hydroxylamine. Here water is leaving. Water is leaving. So we are getting a so and so compound. We are getting so and so compound. This is called what in the sense oxime. This is called oxime. Glucose and aldehyde undergoes reaction with hydroxylamine. So we are getting oxime. So glucose also giving oxime. Glucose also giving oxime with NH2H. So glucose contains free aldehyde group. Glucose contains free aldehyde group, we can say. So this reaction says that glucose contains a free aldehyde group, we can say. Next reaction we'll see. Now glucose is treated with what in the sense acetic anhydride in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride. Glucose is treated with acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3. So what we are getting in the sense glucose pentaacetate. Glucose pentaacetate we are getting. Glucose is treated with acetic anhydride in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride. We'll take aluminum chloride we have taken. Now we'll change this zinc chloride. We'll take anhydrous zinc chloride. We are getting glucose pentaacetate. Sir, glucose pentaacetate we are getting. That means which is reacting with the anhydride. That we'll see. Now we'll take alcoholic group. Anhydride will take acetic anhydride. We have taken acetic anhydride. In this we'll round up this will round up. So what we are getting in the sense COCH3 acetate. Acetate we are getting. Okay. So alcohol reacts with what in the sense alcohol converts to what? Acetate. Alcohol reacts with acid derivative to give acetate. Okay, acetic anhydride to give acetate. So that means ester. So this reaction says that this glucose contains 5 OH groups. This reaction says that glucose contains 5 OH groups because pentaacetate is formed. One OH group will give one acetate. Pentaacetate in the sense 5 OH groups. So in glucose 5 OH groups present. Okay. In glucose, how many OH groups present in the sense 5 OH groups present. So in glucose, actually 6 carbons are there. In glucose, 6 carbons are there. In 6 carbons, 1 carbon is aldehyde. Remaining 5 carbons containing OH groups. So okay, like this is there. We can say that pentaacetate. What about aldehyde group? Aldehyde group, will it react with anhydride? Sir, no. Sir, like this we said. Next we will see. Next we will take glucose, we will take Tollens reagent. Tollens test will take Tollens reagent. What happens means it is responding Tollens test. Next we will take fructose. Fructose also monosaccharide. Tollens reagent. It is also responding Tollens test. In fructose, what is the functional group means ketone. In glucose, what is the functional group means aldehyde. Glucose is responding Tollens test because aldehyde is the functional group. Fructose is responding Tollens test but functional group is ketone. How it is possible? Aldehyde reduces Tollens reagent, but ketones do not reduce Tollens reagent. Here see, fructose is having functional group ketone. In fructose, functional group is not aldehyde. Even then, it is reducing Tollens reagent. So, it is reducing Tollens reagent in the sense in fructose, what should be there? Aldehyde should be there. But in fructose, aldehyde is not there. What is there means ketone is there. So, we will see the fructose structure. Fructose structure is this one.